Female genital mutilation, FGM. There are 4 types of this procedure done, and none of them produce any benefits for women, only harm. Some of these complications come in the form of severe pain, death, increased risk of miscarriages and labor complications, and more. This mutilation of the female sex organ is considered a ceremony for females when they meet adolescence. This procedure is mostly practiced in African, Middle Eastern, and Asian countries. However, one girl narrowly escaped this horrific procedure, eventually finding asylum in America. Fauziya Kassindja was brought up in a loving home in Togo, Africa. Her parents respected her, sent her to school, and taught her English, and were going to find her a good man to marry. All that changed when her father died when she was 17 and her aunt gained custody of her. Her aunt decided she would marry a man who was more than twice her age and was to have the genital mutilation procedure done. In an interview with PBS, Kassindja described her aunt telling her that the man was 45 years old. One day her aunt said, "I know you don't love him now, but once you get kakaya," which is the name for genital mutilation, "you will learn to love him." She then said, "He wants you today, so tomorrow will be the day of kakaya." Kassindja was able to flee to America where she sought asylum. She was questioned by an officer when she got there who wanted to know why she had come to America. According to Kassindja, "I told her I wanted asylum. She told me I had to tell her what is the problem, so I told her everything. Well, not everything, because it is so embarrassing. How could she understand? I didn't know the words even to say it in English." Later, she described how they took my fingerprints and everything. A woman in uniform called me into her room where she asked me to take off my clothes. I said, "Please, I'm menstruating. Can I keep my underwear on?" And she said to take it off. It was the most humiliating moment in my life. She was then put in jail and became a prisoner. While there, she met another African woman, one who unfortunately had her genitals mutilated. As described by Kassindja in an interview, her genitals were as flat and as smooth as a palm. Because she was trying to seek asylum, she needed to present her case to a judge. A law student picked up her case and together they went to court. However, she was almost immediately denied asylum by the judge. She recounted her experience in the court saying, "From the way the hearing was going, I knew he wasn't going to grant my asylum." It wasn't until Celia Duggar, a writer from the New York Times, took her story to the press. It became one of the biggest stories in 1996 and got massive attention from the media. She also was able to write a book about her experience called "Do They Hear You When You Cry?" This sparked a big conversation about human rights. This issue relates to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights because Kassindja worked towards America providing asylum for women seeking refuge from FGM in Africa. She opened the gates towards knowledge of FGM to be spread so that action could be taken upon it. FGM is a violation of human rights because it is physically mutating female sex organs and doing it without permission. FGM violates Articles 5, 14, and 16 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Kassindja's influence slowly continues to impact our society today. Just on December 28, 2018, Ohio Governor John Kasich signed a bill to finally criminalize FGM in the state of Ohio, who is the 28th state to outlaw the practice. Most of the women in Ohio affected by FGM are of Somali, Ethiopian, and African origin countries. Under the law, performing FGM is now a felony punishable by fines and prison time. According to a report by Paige Fleger for NPR, the Population Reference Bureau estimates Ohio is one of the 10 states with the highest risks of FGM in the country. In Columbus alone, the group estimates over 18,000 women and girls are at risk of FGM, more than half of whom are under 18 years old. Kassindja's case helped to raise awareness across the world about the horrors of FGM. Because of her case, the practice was banned in some countries in Africa as well as throughout the world in some industrialized countries. In 2009, U.S. immigration courts widened their asylum protection to include females who feared other abuses such as forced marriages and long-term domestic violence. 1 year after Kassindja was freed, she co-wrote a book with her lawyer, who used the profits to found the Tahirih Justice Center to respond to an outpouring of pleas from women like Kassindja in desperate need of free legal protection from human rights abuses. According to their website, in 2015 alone, Tahirih was able to provide free legal services to more than 2,000 women and girls and their family members from over 90 countries. Since 1997, support has brought justice to over 19,000 individuals like Fauziya. It is apparent from her life as well as the lives of many others that FGM is a problem in the world that is serious as well as incredibly dangerous. From a Washington Post article, FGM is still widely performed in more than 24 countries. If Kassindja went to such great lengths to avoid the procedure, then maybe we should be doing more to prevent the operations from happening at all, especially in our own country.